repeatedly called for the reform of the United Nations, South Africa, my native land, voted controversially with China and Russia against a draft UN security resolution on the shocking human rights and abuses in Myanmar or Burma. South Africa argued at the time that the correct venue for addressing this matter is the General Assembly of the United Nations, and it was not prepared to condone a debate within the Security Council where 5 nations had a veto power. And we need to note this sense of unhappiness. Or, more poignantly, is the more recent encounter between the African Union and the United Nations General Assembly, Security Council, excuse me. The AU had requested the Security Council not to proceed with a warrant for the arrest of Sudan's President Omar al-Bashir. It made this request in order to give the Africans a further opportunity to facilitate a negotiated settlement around the Darfur crisis, a process that the African nations had been involved in since 2004. This request was rejected by the Security Council, who proceeded to authorize the ICC to issue the warrant for Bashir's arrest. The heads of states belonging to the AU, in a summit held in Libya in July 2009, expressed, and I use the quotation, grave concern that the indictment of al-Bashir will have a negative impact on the delicate peace processes underway in Sudan, unquote. Proceeding to state that they would not be prepared to cooperate with international forces for the arrest of Bashir. Now, whenever I say a word about Bashir, I always feel that I need to add that I'm in no way seeking to defend al-Bashir. I think he's a thug. Few countries, a few countries, have of course recanted on the words that were used in that AU declaration, South Africa among them, in saying that they would not be prepared to cooperate. African countries are, however, asking, why is it that the international community, and more specifically the ICC, is not showing the same concern in relation to other nations? In the Gaza war, Israel, Palestine, what about the Russians, Chechnya, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Afghanistan? We can go on and on. Why is it that Africa is being singled out in this situation? In a recent edition of the New African Journal, it asks the question, what is the ICC up to? Forget the rhetoric, says a leading article. The ICC is just another excuse for superpower bullying. This is not a court set up to book prime ministers of the United Kingdom or presidents of the United States. It is this that makes many in Africa watch with particular interest in what the response is going to be and what the nature of the investigations will be in the United States, for example, concerning the Bush administration's war on terrorism, as well as the outcome of the United Nations-sponsored investigation by Judge Richard Goldstein into alleged atrocities in the Gaza area.